I want you to write this word on the top of your page, on your outline. I want you to write relationships. Relationships. Okay? Because God cares about your relationships. It's important. Relationships. All heaven and earth is about relationships. Where you spend eternity is your relationship with Christ. You know, a lot of us in here, we have that relationship with Christ. So we're going to spend eternity with God because of that relationship. And some of you in here, or you guys that are in here, well, you're all in here, is because of somebody built into you. Relationships. Maybe a mom or dad, brother or sister, could be a friend. Somebody is built into you to the importance of relationships to bring you to a church, bring you to the bridge. And so relationships are so important. They influence us. That's why we're in this series, to gather together. And here's what Jesus says in Matthew 18:20. It says this, "For where 2 or 3 gather together as followers, I am there among them." So why is Jesus so interested in us gathering together? Why? Why does he say that? Well, because let me tell you that real relationships, real life change happens in the context of relationships. Real life change takes place in relationships, small groups. Now, God cares, but so does Missy, myself, Mo, Dave. We care that you guys are in a small group. And we want to help you guys form small groups. And so my assignment today is to convince you guys that small groups are important. Some of you guys went, whoa, small groups, and you're already beginning to think of fears, things that come into your mind. Well, I can't be in a small group because, and I'm going to hit some of those real quick of why. But I want to read this verse for you, Ecclesiastes 4:8. It says, "There was a man all alone. He had neither son nor brother." Now, that just wasn't family or anything else like that. He had nobody there with him. Nobody there. There was no end to his toil. So what was taking place in his life, the devastation of things, he had nobody there to help him out. Yet his eyes were not content with his wealth. So he had some wealth, he had some things going on in his life that wasn't filling that void of relationships. So why walk alone? That's my question. Why walk alone? I hate walking alone. I love to be in groups of people and spending time with everybody. The game that we just played, who cares? Some of you did it by yourself. Some of you got in groups, and it's easier when you're with that group. Life is easier when you're in a group of friends and building relationships. But why aren't some of us in relationships? Why aren't some of us in those small groups? Number one is naive. Some of us are just naive. Well, maybe you didn't know the Bridge offered small groups. And so today I'm informing you that we have small groups, and we have like 18 small groups, and my challenge is to form more small groups today. Maybe it's, I just don't need, I'm okay, I can handle life on my own, things could be pretty tough, but I'm okay with myself, just naive. There's a story of Muhammad Ali, and I'm not sure if it's true, but this is what I've heard. Muhammad Ali is on a plane, he's sitting there, and the plane's getting ready to take off. And the stewardess is walking up and down the aisles, checking, make sure everyone's buckled up before the plane takes off. And she stops at Muhammad Ali, and she says, "Sir, you need to buckle your seatbelt." And he kind of chuckled. "What do you mean? Superman does not need to buckle a seatbelt." And she's kind of chuckled. "Superman didn't need a plane either, so buckle your seatbelt, Come on, buckle it up." Naive, okay? Our temperament. I'm just too shy, Dave. When I get in large groups, I stutter and I just can't. Our temperament. That's just the way that I am. I want to challenge you. If that's it, man, step out, meet new friends. Third thing is fear. Oh, if I sign up, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Am I going to walk up to that door and ring the doorbell, and there's the whole small group, and they're, giving you kisses and holy hugs and everything else like that. And they march in, they plop you in the middle of the living room in the chair, and they sit you down, and all right, time to confess all your sins. And you're like, whoa, and we're going to wash your feet now. And that doesn't happen on the first time. Now, maybe the second time, no, that doesn't happen. I'm serious. Our small groups, they're awesome. I mean, it's all about building relationships, all about connecting. The other fear that some of us have is, and I'm in these categories too, I mean, I'm preaching to myself, is, am I going to have to share everything, all my intimate details? Well, if I do, what happens if they take that and all of Decatur, Monroe knows it? You know, can I trust them? And yes, you can, because what stays in a small group stays in a small group. So, our fear. The other thing that you may not join a small group is because maybe past experience. Past experiences, maybe you've been burnt by relationships somewhere along the line. Maybe you've been, I hate to say it, burnt here at the bridge. You signed up for a small group and nobody called you. And if that happened, I am sorry. I am sorry that nobody called you to join a small group. But that was in the past. And now we're in the present. So give us a chance to be in a small group. Don't let your past experiences spoil the opportunity of developing relationships with others. And then the other thing, last thing, busy. I'm just too busy. I got so much stuff going on. I got work. I'm running from my kids from here to there. Just life is so busy right now. I'm barely keeping alive. And let me tell you this, small groups, they meet about every other week for about 2 hours, maybe 3. Now, if you're like in my small group, we go like 5, you know. But we have fun. But most of our groups are every other week in 2 to 3 hours. I challenge you guys to set your priorities and making that small group priority high on your list. Don't put it down here. Because remember what I said, that life change happens in the midst of relationships. In the midst of relationships. The title today is Where Everybody Knows Your Name. I don't know about you guys, but man, I love it when everybody knows my name. I do. It feels so much better when everyone's, hey, Dave, what's going on? I love that. And I know that God intended for us to have these relationships so that we feel like everybody knows our name. You can't tell me that you don't have that desire. Because I think that's all of us, where we want to go somewhere, where everybody knows our name, where we feel loved and welcomed. The worship band has been playing a theme song from Cheers. And I don't know if you guys heard the words or not, but I want to kind of repeat these words to you because I think these are so true. And if you're like younger generation, you don't know what Cheers is. It was, yeah. All right. It was about a bar. Okay? Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. It's true. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. I mean, that would. I'd love to take a break from my worries. Wouldn't you like to get away? And some of you guys are going, yeah, right now I do. Because this message is hitting me hard. Sometimes you just want to go where everybody knows your name. They're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name. You know, the sad thing is that was about a bar, not about a church. But the bridge is too big. How can everybody know my name? Well, our philosophy here at the bridge is we want to grow larger in our worship service, but we want to grow smaller in our small groups. We want to take everybody here, and we want to put you guys in small groups so that when everybody will know your name. That's what it's about, small groups. It's about developing those relationships with one another. Okay, I want you guys to read a verse with me aloud. Are you guys ready? Hey, I got one. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, whoa. I had to do this with middle school, and I was doing it with middle school. Are you guys ready? Thank you. This is your outside voice, okay? And it's Romans 12:5. So are we ready? Here we go. Since we one body in Christ, we belong to each other, and each of us needs all the others. Cool. You guys rock. Now turn to the person next to you and say, you need me. Okay? Now turn to your second choice and say, you need me. Yeah, if you're on an end, you got to run to the other side. Okay? Hey, we need each other. We need each other in our small groups. I have 4 aspects of a person's life that I want to take you guys through. And the 4 aspects will reach all the small groups. So first one is the arena. I know and you know. So if you're following along on your notes and you want to fill this in, I know and you know. That's the public aspect. That's I know about a little bit about you guys, what you're going to laugh at, what you're not going to laugh at. And you know a little bit about me. I'm bald, big nose, whatever. I mean, just from outward appearance and everything. But that's not the real me. I mean, I'm bald, yeah, but there's something else to the inside of me. So the thing is, I need people who really know me. I need people who really know me. Because there's more to me than just my outward appearance. And my small group gets that. They get to see the other side of me. You want somebody that really knows you, that really cares for you. Because guess what? There's going to be that day. That day when you have a miscarriage and a small group member comes over and sits on your couch and watches a movie with you. There's going to be that day when a family member passes away and your small group comes over and sits with you and comforts you. There's going to be a day maybe when a husband or wife walks out and a small group member is going to come over and hang with you. There's going to be that day in our lives when we're going to want somebody there with us. I have a video of Leanne Tijerina, and her small group gets it. They get it.
Well, the reason my husband and I decided to start a small group was when we moved into a new house in Monroe. We felt so thankful for this house, and we told the Lord that we would use it to honor Him and bless Him. So when the Foxes asked us if we'd consider hosting a small group, we thought, okay, I think this is what God had in mind. So we invited people into our home. I enjoy that. I like having people there and just hearing the sounds of laughter and feeding people. And so we enjoyed just being hospitable, I guess, and opening our home to people. And I was a little nervous at first about leading a discussion. I'm not a Bible scholar or anything like that. But it's been pretty easy. We have people like Dave Hill and some of the other leaders at the church who will give us some questions or videos just to pop in and get discussion going. So it wasn't difficult at all. My small group has been really supportive during some hard times. For an example, a few years ago, about 6 years ago, my husband and I traveled to Russia to adopt 2 of our sons, and we came back with 2 beautiful boys and hepatitis. So unfortunately, we were quarantined. My son and my daughter also got hepatitis along with me, and my small group was fantastic. They didn't stay away like we had a plague, even though we kind of did. They came and brought us food and loved on us a little bit and just took care of us during a really hard time. So that's one way that our small group has supported us. We've had some other families in our small group who are hit by this economic impact in Adams County, this recession, and we've pitched in to help them during some rough times financially. So just sort of feel kind of like an extended family, someone you can go to when you need some help. And in addition to that, I feel like I've been challenged spiritually by some of the members in our small group. Like I said, I'm not really a Bible scholar. I read my Bible, I love the Lord, I pray, but there are lots of things I don't know. But there are some members of my group who know quite a bit more than I do about the Bible and will answer questions or challenge me to think about things different ways. And so, mainly what a small group looks like at my house is, people come in, we share a meal, we sit down and watch a video and talk about it. So it's pretty casual and laid back. It doesn't feel forced or fake, but we have some really good, intimate, spiritual, and significant conversations. I love it. I'm not sure what I would do without them.
See, this group, they need people who really know them. The cool thing, what Leanne said, was when they had ended up with hepatitis, that the small group didn't stay away. The other thing was their small group is helping out others in their group financially when financial stresses come about. See, this group is really doing better than any other program or any person here on staff could help them out. I mean, they are doing it. I need people who really know me. Number two, the thing is the mask. I know, but you don't know. Meaning, I know what's going on. I know things, and I'm going to put my mask on, but you don't know, and I'm going to keep those things. And if you're here and you're in that spot, I'm just telling you, you're not in a safe place. You're not in a safe place. Because you know what? We need people, and that's my next thing. You need people who will protect me. I need people who will protect me. It says this in 2 Corinthians 4:2. We refuse to wear masks and play games. Rather, we keep everything we do and say out in the open. See, it's about small groups, things going on in your life, things, temptations. You're able to share those things because they are the ones that are going to protect you. It's okay to share those things amongst the small group. God says, God forgives what you do. But if you, in James 5:16, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. And I believe that so much is that when we come together as a group and we are sharing things, the temptation, sins, and we let those things out, it begins the healing process. I emailed our small group leaders and said, hey, tell me why you're in a small group. Had some great responses. But the one thing that a lot of them responded was, we need accountability. Accountability for life. Accountability for the things that I'm facing on a daily basis. I had one group respond, and I love this. It says, there is something special about someone you didn't know before. This group formed, they didn't know each other, but now you love as if you had known them your whole life. See, this group, they're protecting one another. I believe that this group is open and they're able to share different things. I need people who will protect me. The third area is blind spots. I don't know, but you know. I don't know, but you know. For example, if I'm walking out here, I got a booger hanging out of my nose. I don't know. Hopefully someone's going to tell me, and not let that sucker just keep hanging there. Just serious, Friends don't let friends have boogers hang out of their nose. Now, it happened, not the booger aspect, but this did happen to me today. I had a donut this morning because I was hungry, and I was back there at the sound booth area, and Ty goes, hey, Dave, you got a little something. I'm like, He's like, yeah, you do. He's like, yeah, right here. So I'm like, oh, I do. And I'm talking about that today. I had a blind spot, and you told me about it. Thanks, or else I'd be up here with donuts all over my face. But seriously, there's a predator out there that wants to destroy us. He doesn't want those blind spots to come about. He wants to attack us. So that's why I need people who will be honest with me. I need people who will be honest with me. Do you have that in your life? People that will just be totally drop dead honest with you. That you can trust. Travis and Laura Wilder is in a small group, and they've joined a small group, and it's a small group of young married couples, married either engaged or 2 years out, and I asked her why she's in a small group, and this is what their response was. We wanted to join a small group to meet more people our age from the bridge. We enjoy getting together with our small group and having biblical discussions and just hanging out with other Christians. It has led us to be more accountable and have a desire to learn more about God. We feel we have met great role models for our new marriage. See, in a small group, they have some leaders that have been married for quite a while, and that is willing to step out and let them know about rough things in the first couple years of marriage, that are willing to be honest with them and open with them. And hopefully they take these things and along with the others and apply them. Proverbs 27:6 says this, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Friends are honest with one another. And sometimes that might hurt. I had a friend approach me. His name is Jeff. And we were in a small group together and developed a great relationship, and I still have a great relationship with him. And one time he calls me up, "Hey Dave, I need to talk with you." I'm thinking, all right, that's fine. Come on in and we'll chat. And I'm thinking, what's going on in his life that he needs to talk about? Maybe some different struggles, I don't know. And so he comes in and he's kind of nervous, and he said, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something." I go, "All right, come on." He goes, "I wanted to let you know that to be careful in a situation. There's something I saw that maybe you were doing, and I want you to be aware of it." And I said, "Oh." I said, "Jeff, I didn't know that. And now I do." And Jeff was looking out for me. He's being honest with me, so it protects my ministry, protects my family, and protects me. He's honest with me, and I am so thankful that I have somebody that has my back spiritually. Who has your back spiritually? Who has it? And here's my last thing. Potential. I don't know, and you don't know. See, God's got some incredible things for us, and when we're in the midst of a small group, and real life is changing, that's where we discover it together. We accomplish more as a team. There's a saying in an old proverb, when you run alone, you run fast. But when you run together, you run far. And I believe that's so true in our small groups. Because when we run far, we're running together spiritually. We're growing together. And that's our next thing. When I need people who will grow me. That was the other thing when I emailed the small group leaders. Why are you in small? So I can grow together amongst my friends. Ephesians 4:16 says this, "As each part does its work, it helps the other parts grow. So Christ's whole body is healthy and growing and full of love." See, small groups, relationships in small groups, they happen, and they sharpen one another. They sharpen one another. Not just casual friendships, but deep friendships. Those times when you need somebody to be there for you. See, the same is true, and maybe you're thinking, well, my relationship with Christ just isn't the greatest. Maybe it starts there today where you say, "God, I'm sorry for my sins. I want to develop my relationship with you so that I can develop healthy relationships in a small group." See, Jesus says, "I no longer call you servants, but I call you friends." And that's where it starts. Healthy friendships. Relationships. You want life change? It begins in small groups. Our middle school and our high school students know that. We have a program called C Groups on Wednesday nights, and C Groups is connecting with God and connecting with others. And I want you guys to see what some of our high schoolers say about small groups, about their C group. Watch this. All right. Why are you in a small group?
The reason I'm in a small group is because I want to deepen my relationship with Christ, and my friends and leader helped me do that by challenging me to read my Bible and remember verses.
I'm in a C group because it's a way to build relationships with friends, and it's just a safe environment with the friends who you build connections with, and you can just be open and honest with them, and they got your back and you can grow together.
One of the reasons I'm in a small group is so that way I can have accountability partners that challenge me to read my Bible and do all the right things, and just, that's it, I don't know. Turn it off, Dave.
And I have a small group. I want to be set up with the same leaders and friends who, especially the leaders who I know I can call anytime and they're just willing to listen or give me advice.
If I didn't have a small group, I feel like I wouldn't have as good a relationship with God, and my relationship with my friends wouldn't be based around the right things, so they wouldn't be as flourished as they are now.
If I didn't have have a small group, then my relationship with God wouldn't be as good, and also I wouldn't have a relationship with our friends.
What would you say to someone who is thinking about being in a small group?
Don't think about it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't think about it.
Just do it.
These guys get it. We have a great ministry on Wednesday nights for our middle school and high schoolers. So if you're a middle school or high school student in here today, and I challenge you to be in a C group on Wednesday nights. Start at 7 for high school, 7:15 for middle school. These guys get it. Here's my application. Are you guys ready for this? I need you guys to pull out your sheet, your little, fill in the blanks. On the back there's 6 lines. And I challenge you guys, not just to hear this, but to apply. I challenge you to write 4 to 6 either individuals or couples on these lines that you will call and contact and let Missy and I know and let us know that you're willing to start a small group, and to do that this week. That's a big challenge. But remember what I said, life change happens in the month in small groups. Before you guys start writing, I want to pray. Okay? I want to pray. Hey, God, man, I thank you. I thank you for opening up our ears and our hearts. God, I pray right now that you give us names of people that we can invite into a small group, whether they come here to the bridge or they do not come here to the bridge. So, God, give us those names right now. In your name, amen.